they're calling it the yellow line, like they did in Gaza as well. Well, our reporters have been speaking to some of those in Nabatea who've been displaced on what their future may hold. Here's what they said.
I retired on February 28th and opened a small shop store to work in and spend my time. That March 1st, and nothing was left of the shop. We don't know what will happen. I don't know if the bombings will start again. I came to see for myself. I'll wait 10 days, and if the truce holds, I'll repair it.
So what's going on tonight is Bulgarian elections, the 8th elections in 5 anti-corruption protests have marred recent events in Bulgaria against the government. We saw the downfall of the government last year. Indication tonight suggesting a centre-left coalition led by
were fooled by North Korea. I know North Korea in 2002 was working with Iran, not just on underground fortifications and how to do them, but also on nuclear weapons, how to match warhead to missile and such. So Ted, I think, is right that if the Iranians want a nuclear weapon, they'll make one.
And they might be close to being able to make one that can fit on the Khorramshahr missile. I think previously people said it's good, at least from Trump, he's more open than previous presidents about policy. There's a transparency there about the aims of United States empire, as it were. Do you think he has been open? Does he understand that this is about BRICS and not about Israel after all? Or
it depends. Yeah, it depends on what you mean by open. I don't think he's open at all. I think he's crude.
Destroying a civilization.
Yeah, I think he's foul-mouthed. I don't think he meant that for a minute. I hope he didn't anyway. I mean, he's declaring a war crime out of the mouth of the President of the United States for everyone to hear. I think he's crude, rude, but very savvy, politically speaking, domestically, politically
Yeah, but
speaking.
Trump, he is more open than this president you served when you were at the State Department. George W. Bush went through acrobatics, along with your boss, Colin Powell.
Well, he went through acrobatics because he was led through those acrobatics by his intelligence community. Certain ones of them, not all of them, particularly George Tenet and John McLaughlin. Trump's not being led around by anybody. Tulsi Gabbard is ruining her future right now, opening a new investigation into the attempt to impeach Donald Trump. She's beyond me. I can't figure out what she's about anymore.
Told that in previous elections, and as you mentioned, there's been a lot of them, 8 in the past 5 years, but usually exit polls aren't exactly certain in Bulgaria. So we'll see what the result is. Probably tomorrow morning we'll get the official numbers, and that will be a big indication about which way he might go in terms of that coalition building. I will say I'm hearing from people here in Brussels that even if he does choose that more pro-Russian and anti-EU coalition, they don't expect him to replace Viktor Orban in the council in terms of trying to veto support for Ukraine. They expect something more like the role that Robert Fico, the Prime Minister of Slovakia, has played, not really willing to so divisively try to veto foreign policy decisions of the European Union. That's what they expect, but of course he is a bit of an unknown entity, so we'll see. Okay.
Up with it just like they always do, and back away from any negotiations. So these negotiations in Lebanon are farcical too, as the ones in Pakistan are. But they're all designed to cover Trump's retreat and make it not look like a retreat.
Colonel, we'll continue after the break.
Short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again, they can never have a nuclear weapon. And we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten our very good friends and allies in Europe, our troops stationed overseas, and could soon reach the American homeland. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated.